This is a really big day for me. Today, I'm going to cut my very first piece of black opal from Lightning Ridge, ever. My first black opal, you say? Are you surprised? You are, right? Well, it's not really my first one. I've cut a lot of black opal, some from Lightning Ridge, but this is my first virgin black opal. Wait a minute, that didn't come out right. This is the first piece of completely rough Lightning Ridge black opal that I've ever had. If that sounds peculiar to you, you may not be familiar with Lightning Ridge black opal, or at least the Lightning Ridge black opal market. You see, Lightning Ridge is the place with the world's best opal, Lightning Ridge black opal. It is regarded as the very best opal in the world, and the prices reflect that. The retail price for Lightning Ridge black opal ranges from about $1,000 per carat to up to $30,000 or more per carat. Now, I'm an opal cutter, somebody who cuts, grinds, and polishes rough opal. No, not rough like kick 'em in the ribs rough. Rough opal, as you know, is the name we use to call opal as it comes out of the ground. So if you're a cutter, admit it, I know most of you are. Or maybe you are, but do it in secrecy. Well, that's okay. You can stay there in the closet until you're ready to come out. We can wait. So where do we cutters want to get our opal from? Well, let's review. The best opal on the planet comes from Lightning Ridge, so duh. We want Lightning Ridge rough opal, right? All cutters go there to get their rough opal. But it's not our fault. There is not much rough black opal in Lightning Ridge. Why? Well, all Lightning Ridge black opal just cuts and polishes itself while it's in the ground before coming out. Sort of like my wife. I'm not going out without my makeup on. Well, that's sort of an exaggeration, except for that last part about my wife. In actuality, there is a lot of rough opal in Lightning Ridge. But why is it hard to find? Let's say I've got a knobby. No, not that knobby. Get your minds out of the gutter. I have a knobby of opal. That's the form that opal comes in. Well, some of the opal comes in from Lightning Ridge, rounded balls called knobbies. A guy comes along and says, "Good day, mate." How do you like my good day, mate? That's pretty good, huh? How about you sell me that knobby for $10,000? So I think to myself, I can't see the inside, but chances are it has no color at all. $10,000 is a great price for potch. Sold. After I sell it, I suddenly think about the other possibility. What if that knobby was solid, brilliant black opal? Well, let's do the math. 1 ounce is about 155 carats. Good Lightning Ridge opal costs at least $5,000 a carat, so 155 times 5,000, that's $775,000, and I just sold it for $10,000. Hey, guy! Here's your $10,000 back. Give me back my knobby. It's not going to happen. So the real reason that it's difficult to buy rough Lightning Ridge black opal is because it has to be looked at first. You look at it first so you don't sell $1 million stone for, say, $8.42. Now, don't get me wrong. They do sell Lightning Ridge rough. Pieces of rough that have been partially rubbed so you can see a little bit of the color, but every piece is a gamble. You need only look at Black Opal Direct's channel. Justin Thomas has great videos, and occasionally he takes a stone with lots of promise and it doesn't quite pan out. Yet, he still has the wherewithal to actually post it, even though it didn't pan out exactly right. Some people, we won't mention any names, might not do that, show their dirty laundry, so to speak. So big ups to Justin for doing that. He knows that it's really all about the journey and not necessarily the destination. For me, I'd hate to take a journey to Mount Everest and end up in the Sahara. There are some good things that come with failure, and I'll let you know when I think of some. By the way, none of Justin's videos are failures. His videos are always great, interesting, informative, and that's my opinion. And I'm sticking to it. Through the years, I've managed to acquire some absolutely fabulous rough opal from Mintabie, Coober Pedy, Andamooka, Lambina, and I've cut my share of black opal from these places. So why is Lightning Ridge black opal better than the black opal from elsewhere in Australia? Most Lightning Ridge black opal is really a combination of high-grade crystal or transparent opal with a backing of solid black potch, naturally, not glued on. That's usually not the case for black opal from other parts of Australia, although occasionally you do get black opal exactly like that found in Lightning Ridge. So I've never had the opportunity to cut some completely rough Lightning Ridge black opal until now. So strap yourselves in. This ride might get bumpy. Recently, a friend of mine, Riley Gunn, an Australian opal dealer, offered to send me some opal to cut. So I told him, no, I can't accept that. How soon can you ship it? Riley works with his underage daughter, Grace. Which, are there child labor laws in Australia? I mean, just thinking out loud. Riley has a YouTube channel, NN Opals, and a website, nnopals.com, but he has a huge number of parcels of all kinds of Australian opal on opal auctions, where he goes by the name of, wait for it, 53 Frogs. I certainly hope that the author of that name is not underage, if you know what I mean. So I kind of forgot about that shipment until last Friday when the package showed up. Well, this may be premature. I don't know if I'll end up in the Himalayas or in the Sahara, but the one that's a possible significant gem. Okay, so let's take a look at this thing. Looking pretty good. It's got a lot of color. You can see that the potch, it's got real dark potch. That's good. Thin layer of sand and nice color bars and at different levels too. So it's shaping up pretty nicely. Now it is irregularly shaped, and I noticed that the top part here, which is I'm going to call the bottom, is very sandy, but that's where the potch is. So we'll stick in this area that I've got marked. We're going to work on that side. And if we look at this, the top of it has this ridge, and this ridge is of real interest. I kind of expect the color to cut off there. That's the way color bars do. There's a nice little piece of black opal with at least one narrow color bar near the top. I'm going to try to get into this and make a fortune. So let's just see how it goes. I'm going to use a 600 mesh wheel. I don't usually start with this wheel, but with this small specimen and a limited amount of material, I don't want to grind through the color bar. So I've got to take it slow. Now we can see the color bar. Colors coming out there at the top. I don't have to go through much to get to this bar, so still have to take it slow. It looks like we've revealed the edges of the color bar. This is going kind of slow, so
this is boring. Get to the good part.
I'm barely pressing on it. Very slow. That color's really starting to come out. Looks great. Well, we've gotten nearly full exposure here. I think that this area may mark the boundary of where the color ends. Okay, we've got this thing shaped out a little bit. Unusual shape. I need to go in and get a little bit of that sand off the edge, round off the tip, do a few other things. Let's see what we can do. Well, I've clearly gone farther than I can possibly go with my hands. I'm going to need a dop stick and see what we can do once the dop stick is attached. But the color's looking great. Can't complain about that. Now with the dop stick, you can get some accuracy finally. Working with the 600 wheel there. Moving to the 1200 mesh wheel. Well, look at that. A slam dunk on my first black opal. I was as proud as, well, but then I noticed it. I wasn't out of this yet, so let's show some dirty laundry. I noticed that there were scratches on the surface, but there was also some sand that I hadn't seen without magnification. I neglected an extremely important step, one that I always do, except not this time. I forgot. What can I say? I think somebody was trying to teach me to be a little humble. But anyway, that step is always look at the stone under high magnification before shaping and polishing. What can I say? I lost my head. I totally missed those scratches on the surface, and I also missed that white dot, which turned out to be sand. Oh, the shame. So I won't bore you with the details, but I went back, reshaped it, polished it, and finally I got to the stone that I was looking for to begin with. I mean the stone that I was destined to cut. Well, it's been another fun-filled episode. I was riveted in my seat. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you liked it. Hit the thumbs down if you didn't like it. Just hit something, or not, and I'll see you next time.